Corporate emergency management. That's not a term you hear every day, but it is an essential function of every corporation that is carried out every day by offices of health and safety, environment, security, operations, engineering, communications, risk management, and public relations. The value of corporate emergency management lies in reducing losses from all types of natural and technological hazards, including everything from floods and earthquakes to hazardous materials. The focus of this presentation is on environmental emergency management. What is environmental emergency management? It is the mitigation of, preparedness for, response to, and recovery from chemical or product releases that may damage the environment, injure workers, or threaten public safety. The environmental emergency scenario you are about to see employs a computer and communications software package called the Emergency Information System.
Well, it's time to check up on what's been happening. Just think, a few minutes ago, these messages could have been anywhere in the world, and now we have them here in a clear, understandable format. Here's a chemical inventory from a warehouse that's already been updated in the Health and Safety Department. It sure has become easy to track what's being used in the facility and submit our right to know information. A new person on the job in the Emergency Control Department. The Emergency Planning Department has been waiting for that spill prevention plan. Using the computer to share model plans has really improved the planning process. Uh-oh, a laboratory fire in Michigan. I better look at the messages that came in overnight. Let's see, the fire was in the laboratory. I'd better be prepared to brief on this today since it was reported in the Detroit newspapers. There were no injuries to workers who were evacuated to an outside staging area. Initial repair estimates range from 2 to 4 months. I'd better take a look at the damage. Having an environmental communication system that provides this kind of image is great. Some smoke damage here, water damage to surrounding labs, and actual fire damage here. Well, now I'm ready to leave for the briefing. Uh-oh, that's an urgent alert coming in. Yeah, Emily, keep me posted on what's being reported here, okay? It looks like we have some problems at the Andrews plant. Right, I'll be at the morning briefing if anything comes in that I should know about. Thanks.
I hear there's an accident. What's going on?
Well, a forklift truck punctured one of our tanks, and it happened right here. Let me bring up a chemical inventory record for you and show you a little more information on the chemical involved. It's ammonium hydroxide, and the tank is tank 103, which is located in tank farm 4.
Have you run a plume model?
Yes, we have. Let me show you the results of our plume modeling. We've notified both police and fire of the potential for off-site impacts. In addition, we have a MET station up and running, receiving current weather data and using that data to update our plume projections.
What do you have on the scene now?
Let me zoom in and give you a little more detail. Here's the tank that's involved. Our MET station is located here, and adjacent to it is our command vehicle. Incidentally, we have a laptop computer on the command vehicle equipped with a cellular telephone so that we can receive real-time communications and provide that information to our responders. Here's our response van, and our personnel are attempting to control the leak. In addition, we have other resources that are available. Here's a list of those resources. The ones that are blinking are currently in use. And we can also obtain additional resources through our mutual aid plans.
Are we following our plans?
Yes, we are. Here's a checklist of our planning procedures. As we complete each of the procedures, we turn off the item and stop it from blinking. Let me show you what we've done to contain the leak. As a precautionary measure, we've closed the spill control gates that you see blinking on the screen. That's the status of the incident right now. Of course, our corporate reporting requirements provide that we must submit the information to government agencies as well as corporate health and safety, and we've been submitting that information electronically to them.
So you see everything from routine chemical inventory updates to electronic reports on yesterday's small laboratory fire are examples of the in-depth daily reporting that we're getting from our emergency computer and communication system. It looks like we have a problem at the Andrews plant. Could we have the information up on the screen, please? All right, there are 3 messages. A forklift truck has punctured an ammonium hydroxide tank. Obviously, there's a concern about the vapors that have been released. And since we have a plume model transmitted, can we take a look at that? Okay, there's the location of the Andrews plant. Could you zoom in on that, please, so we can get a more detailed look? All right, here's the plant's plume model, and we see that it shows that there's a risk of an off-site release which would cause an evacuation or in-place sheltering of this entire area.
What quantity are we talking about?
Well, let's take a look at the chemical inventory. We see we have a potential release for more than 37,000 pounds of it.
How toxic?
Let's take a look at the material safety data sheet. Now looking at this, we see that it's a corrosive and that the IDLH for ammonia is 500 ppm and that the TLV is 25 ppm. Can we see the first responder information, please? All right, on here we see the fire and explosion hazards instructions, the firefighting techniques. But note with the evacuation recommendations that our plume models give us a better picture than these generalized directions for evacuation distance.
Have all the right government agencies been notified?
Well, let's take a look at the notification list. Yes, we can see that they have. And note that in-house experts, both from headquarters as well as other plants, have been included on this list. Now, the ones who aren't blinking are on standby in the event that they're needed, and we're in direct contact with the State Emergency Office.
Sarge, the circle is the maximum vulnerable area that the plant sent us. The blinking markers show us the emergency response units that are on the scene and around the scene. And off here to the left, you'll see the Department of Environmental Protection has just arrived, and that's their command post. The plant has transmitted us a plume dispersion model. Will you please display that, Trooper? All right, let's take a look at what that means to the public. Okay, in the path of the plume, we don't have any schools, but we do have a hospital and a nursing home. Now, on the left, what we'll have here is a list of the facilities that could possibly be affected in this area. Let's take a look at that nursing home and some of the specifics on it. All right, that's the information on the nursing home. We do have the Department of Health at the nursing home, and they're prepared to take any actions that we recommend. Now, let me show you where I think we should set up our traffic control points to make sure that we can evacuate the area and limit access if it becomes necessary. What we're going to do is take this information and we're going to transmit it to the plant. That way they'll know what we're doing off-site, we already know what they're doing on-site, and through a coordinated effort we should be able to bring this thing to a successful conclusion.
The media will be here shortly, You and the mayor can meet together with him right here. Now, Mayor Jones, let me walk you through the briefing materials that we have. The map of the facility will be on all the time so you can refer to it. We'll also bring up the following sequence that you can talk about.
An emergency information system brings together all the elements of corporate emergency management into a coherent framework to share appropriate portions of each department's information throughout the year and to come together in a common system during an emergency. This is corporate emergency management. For corporations, computer and communications software are invaluable tools for not only chemical emergencies, but all types of natural and technological hazards. Day-to-day emergency planning, reporting and training, facility emergency response management, on-scene tactical command posts, management briefings and updates, real-time communication to local and state governments, and public and media relations about environmental and safety issues.
Corporate emergency management is an everyday activity. Whether you're the smallest plant with only a single computer or an entire corporation with facilities linked by telephone or radio or even satellite, plans must be made, inventories maintained, training conducted, and requirements fulfilled. But then all of these things are done in order to make us better prepared to respond in real emergencies. Because it's then that lives are on the line, and the integrity of the corporation is measured by the public.
To effectively carry out corporate emergency management, just as you have seen here in this videotape, use the Emergency Information System. EIS is the computer software with custom maps, floor plans, emergency databases, and communications that quickly shares information from routine inventories to once-in-a-lifetime emergencies. The Emergency Information System is proven in government, business, and industry, with single computers linking together a company's departments and major command centers linking together facilities across the country and around the world. EIS brings risk managers, safety officials, environmental engineers, plant managers, corporate planners, and key executives the right information at the right time, in the right form, to make the critical decisions that affect the very life of the corporation and its surrounding community. The Emergency Information System.